Okay, let's make sure everything's working. Okay, let's make sure everything. All right, everything is working and we're good to go. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Malin, and welcome back to the Madden 26 Cleveland Browns rebuild. Of course, in the first episode, we created Todd Monken, and we finished up the 2025 season, I believe, starting in I don't know, week 15, 16, something like that. And finished the season, I believe, with only 5 wins. I think we finished 5-12. But we had our first full off season of the rebuild, and there's a couple of things that we're going to be focusing on in year 2. I will say I'm not expecting playoffs, but what I am expecting is at least hopefully maybe about 7 to 8 wins. If we can get to that, I would be pretty pleased. Now, we did draft Kate Klubnik with our second first-round pick. He's coming in right now at a 70 overall. Shedeur Sanders is still at a 69. I'm going to go through the preseason. I'm not going to play any of the preseason games, but I'm going to take a look at the stats at the end of the preseason and see which of the two quarterbacks between Klubnik and Sanders perform the best, and I'm going to go with the guy that I think would be the best fit. I feel like whoever shows the stats, I'm still going to stick with Shedeur. Klubnik is somebody I really drafted just as a possible, backup plan if his development is quicker than Shedeur's. But if Shedeur plays the whole season, I feel like that I'm going to get more development out of him, and he will go from being a 69 overall QB to hopefully being in maybe the high 70s or low 80s by the end of the season. We are keeping Deshaun Watson on the roster this season. He is in the very last year of his contract. So he will be done with us after this season. It's going to free up a lot of money. His penalty would be $34.7 million if I were to cut him. And I don't want to have cap penalties. And at this point, even if $34 million have to sit on the bench for year 2 of the rebuild, I'm okay with that. And of course, we also have Dylan Gabriel, who's a third-string quarterback. Running back room is looking better. Quinshon Judkins is an 82 now. We have Dylan Sampson, who's a little bit better to 75, but we did draft Jam Miller from Alabama. If we don't keep Sampson, Miller could be the good secondary back. And then again, in free agency this offseason, there really weren't a whole lot of upgrades that I could get at skill positions. The only way for me to upgrade this roster extremely quickly, at least in the first offseason, was for me to basically go crazy and make a bunch of trades. And with the cap room that we have available, I didn't want to do that just yet. But this offseason, if we can't even get to 6, 7, 8 wins, then I might consider in the second offseason going crazy and making a trade. Probably for a good quarterback, somebody who's established and really trying to get the Cleveland Browns basically back on the winning trail as quick as I can if Sanders is not going to be the guy that can turn this franchise around quickly. Fullback is a new guy, though, Xander Horvath. We signed him in free agency. The fullbacks that were better than him in the offseason really didn't want to come here. I didn't want to break the bank on a fullback, and he's only on a 1-year contract anyway. The receiving room did get better this offseason. We do have Jerry Jeudy coming back, but we drafted Zachariah Branch in the draft, the rookie out of Georgia. He's already coming in at a 76 overall, and Tillman actually played decently in the games that I played towards the end of the season with him. Isaiah Bond is still here. We have Caden Davis and Malachi Fields, who we drafted out of Notre Dame. And Branch, I'm hoping he can be that number 2 receiver. There weren't really any big upgrades for the receiver room in the offseason that I felt like was worth it. Tight end room, David Njoku and Fannin are still here, but we did sign Tyler Higbee in the offseason just to give us a decent third tight end. Left tackle, Lucas is a 70. I couldn't really get any upgrades in the offseason in left tackle. Dwan Jones is still going to back him up. Left guard, we brought back Joel Bitonio. 85 overall. He's one of our best players and the best offensive lineman on the team. I signed Dylan Radones to back him up. I did sign Ryan Bates and improve the center position just a little bit. 70 overall center. Luke Weichler is coming back. Wyatt Teller I decided to bring back. He's got superstar dev, and he's also a 79 overall. I let him walk in free agency, but I was able to get him to come back on a decent contract. And Zitner is backing him up. We did sign one of our biggest gets in the offseason was right tackle Taylor Motton. And he's an 84 overall, but he's getting up there in age. That's also why we drafted Ryan Baer out of Pittsburgh. I don't know if he'll be the future starter, but we'll see. We still have KT Levinston and Jack Conley as the backups at tackle. Left edge rusher, though, we definitely got better. We selected Keldrick Falk with our first round pick of the draft. coming in already a 7.8 overall, and I got a feeling he's going to develop quickly in his first full season as a rookie. We did sign Yetur Gross-Matos in the offseason for some of that veteran presence in there. We still have McGuire, we have Alex Wright, and Okara. But now, with Falk and Myles Garrett, I'm hoping that can build a decent tandem of pass rushers, and maybe the first thing that really gets kicked into gear is this defense, and that improves. We do have also Derek Moore, who we drafted out of Michigan, and KJ Henry as well, backing up Myles Garrett, who's our best player. Mason Graham is our defensive tackle, 80 overall. He didn't improve much, but there weren't really any big upgrades in the offseason or the draft. For that, we also still have Malik Collins here. We got Hall. We drafted Zane Durant, and Aiden Huntington is here as well. Sam linebacker Owosu, who was actually Will linebacker. I moved him over to Sam linebacker to give us an 83 overall guy over there. We got Watson backing him up. Our Mike linebacker Swishinger, who did win a Defensive Rookie of the Year. And we have Easton McCurtis Arnold backing him up. And we have an 86 Devin Bush. So our linebacking core, we got an 86, 84, and an 83. Our linebacking core and our defensive, and once hopefully Falk gets up to maybe being in the 80s, our front seven is going to be pretty good for the next few years, and that's what I'm hoping for. The cornerback room did get a little bit better this offseason. We obviously have Denzel Ward, but Jalen Watson is somebody I signed who was a pretty good upgrade for our CB2. We still have Tyson Campbell. We got Christian Gray, who we drafted out of Notre Dame. We got Harden. We got D. Williams. Free safety, I did improve that in the offseason. I was able to get Malik Hooker, 7-9 overall, former Dallas Cowboy. And we also signed Darryl Worley to back him up. We also drafted Bud Clark out of Temple. Strong safety, Delpit is one of our best players, 82. We got McMillan backing him up and Chris Edmonds. Our kicker is Joshua Carty, and our punter is Bradley Pinion. So we had to get a new punter and new kicker. We also got a new long snapper in Chris Stoll. So that is our roster for year 2. The quarterback and the offense really has more questions than the defense. Like I said, most of the improvements I was able to get really were on defense in the offseason when it came to the first wave of free agents, when it came to the first offseason with free agency and everything that we had at our disposal. So that's what we've got going on going into year number 2. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to actually go ahead and adjust the depth chart a little bit. Right now, Klubnik is the starter, but I want Shedeur Sanders to at least start this first game against the Panthers and see how he performs. I'm going to keep a little bit of an eye on the stats from each game and just see how both of the quarterbacks did. I know that because I put Klubnik as the second guy, he'll play longer. Well, we lost by 14 points, and we didn't score a touchdown, so that's not good. And apparently we already have injuries. McGuire, 4-8, and we got Redon's our backup left guard is out. We got week-to-week for Horvath, and Fannin is week-to-week with a hip pointer. We've already got injuries to deal with. Let me take a look at the. Let me take a look at the scores. The stats. All right, let me see. So as far as passing, Shedeur had a better game than Klubnik. Yeah, Sanders went for 82 yards. Klubnik threw an interception. So in the QB battle right now, even though we didn't score a touchdown in the first game, right now that is being won by Shedeur. So I'm gonna change things up for the second preseason game against the Cowboys, and Klubnik already is in there as the starter. Okay, so Klubnik is already in as a starter, so he's going to start this next game. Let me actually adjust the settings here because I need to take a look at something here. League settings. Is depth chart automatically getting adjusted after every game or something? Manage depth chart. Okay. Reorder depth chart. Okay. I got to switch that to manual at this point in order to have more control. Okay. Klubnik is right now in there as a starter. He's going to start this game against the Cowboys, and I'm going to see how he does. And if he does better than Shedeur, then we're going to determine who starts the third preseason game. Hopefully, we'll have a little bit of a better performance overall. And we actually beat Dallas. We won 21-14. Let me see how things went in this game here. So let's see what happened in this the second preseason game. Let's go to player stats. So Shedeur, he played better than Klubnik. And Klubnik actually started the game. Klubnik did throw a touchdown, but he also threw an interception. Sanders was sacked once. 70% completion percentage. Shedur's outplaying Klubnik. Right now, he's the guy that I want as the starter. Okay, so Sanders, I'm going to make him the starter for the game against the Cardinals, our final preseason game. See how he does. All right, so let's take a look and see what happened before we do cuts. Let's take a look at the Cardinals game. And we won that game 34-13, so we blew out the Cardinals. That's encouraging. All right, well, once again, Sanders, threw for more yards. I mean, I know Klubnik threw 2 touchdowns, but Sanders performed better than him. So Sanders, he is going to be our starting quarterback going into this season. Now, once we get to the middle of the season, I'll take a look and see how things are going. But right now, Shedeur Sanders is going into the season as our starting quarterback. I know he's rated technically lower than Klubnik right now, but hey, let him play out the season. Let him play a bunch of games this season, and hopefully he'll be able to develop. So we got to cut 12 players. We got to trim this roster down, of course. And will result in a net curve penalty if they're okay. So we're not doing that. There's a part of me that wants to move Dylan Gabriel to the practice squad, but he's probably going to be our third-string quarterback next season, so I kind of want to risk losing him. Now, Raheem Sanders, I think I'm just going to go ahead and put him on the practice squad. If somebody picks him up, I'm not going to be too worried about that. Let's see, how many receivers do we have? I think I got 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I like to keep 6 receivers just due to the numbers. As far as the offensive line, I know that we have quite a few right tackles. We have 4 of them. I'm just going to cut Conley. I don't even think it's worth putting him on the practice squad. I'm going to move Leviston into the practice squad, though, just in case. Our edge rushers, though, we got actually a lot of left ones. Okara, can we cut him? Cutting his play results, you're not seeing an increase. Okay, so no cap penalties if we cut this guy. Got Henry here. Let's go ahead and cut him. It won't increase cap space, but that's fine. We got a lot of defensive tackles. Be a penalty, so I'm going to go ahead and move Huntington actually to the practice squad. I don't want to risk losing Hall or Durant if I put them on the practice squad, so I think I'm going to keep that the way it is if I can. This guy Arnold, though, I think I can afford to lose him. I'm okay with that if I put him on practice. Don't have a lot of will linebackers, so I'm going to have to keep that. All right, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got 6 corners. I like to keep 6 active this season if we can. Bud Clark, I don't want to risk somebody picking him up, but McMillan, I don't care a penalty, so no. Let's put McMillan on the practice squad. Edmonds will be the backup behind Delpit. We still got to waive 4 guys, though. Whew. Oh, boy. I think we're going to have to... I'm going to put Caden Davis on the practice squad. Somebody may pick him up. Somebody might not. I don't really know, but we'll see. Nope, that would be a penalty. Mike Hall Jr. I'm going to risk putting Durant on the practice squad. I feel like somebody's going to pick him up, but I'm going to take that risk. I'm going to move D. Williams to the practice squad. And Bud Clark, I'm going to have to risk it too. All right, I'm just going to have to. All right, let me go to Coach Central because I do have some upgrades that I can do. Not a lot, but I can do some upgrades. As far as the preseason, I know it's preseason, but in our last 2 ball games, we went over 20 and 30 points. And pales in comparison to only scoring 3 against the Panthers. And I know, we were playing against the Cowboys backups and the Cardinals backups. But, it's not a bad, position to be in. So let's see. We got an 82 defense. We're 82 overall. We got a 79 offense. That right now is my biggest worry, what's bringing us down. Mostly because the quarterback that we're starting this season is a 69 overall, Shedeur Sanders. If I had started this the whole season last year, he might be better than he is right now, but I just want to see how he develops. Looks like a practice squad player did get picked up. They did take Durant away from us. The Jacksonville Jaguars did. Well, okay then. So let me go to the download center and see if there's a 2027 draft, maybe full, or I don't know. Let me see if there's something else that's pretty decent. I don't know if I've used this one before, but let me see what this looks like. It says full, so let me see what this roster looks like. If it doesn't look right, then I'm going to probably use the one that I already have on file. Here we go. We got Levin, we got Stewart, Rayola, Lagway, Sand, Stone, Wingo. Yeah, this looks good. This looks pretty accurate. At least with some of the top guys. I don't know about some of the other ones, but we're going to go with those. Okay. Opening day against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Not too tough an opponent, but let's simulate to the middle of the season and see where the Cleveland Browns are at in 2026. Hopefully we don't just have 1 or 2 wins, but there's a part of me that thinks we could have a season like that. But this defense has improved. Our running game is getting better. Judkins is getting better. We got another receiver, in Branch. So we've got, better weapons than we did last year. But that might mean nothing. Well, 3-4 is better than I expected, to be honest. So let me take a look and see kind of how the schedule has gone for us this year. So we started out with a loss to the Jaguars, but we beat the Texans to open the season pretty convincingly at home. We lost to the Colts on the road, but only by 4 points. We beat the Falcons by 6 on the road again. We lost to the Titans at home. We lost to the Saints at home, and we just beat the Panthers by 12. So 3-4 is not too bad, but still looking for something more. All right, let me go ahead and try to spend some points on the abilities. We have 76 points to spend, so yeah, let's start spending those points. Got to be better about spending skill points, especially for a coach that I created, because if I don't spend these points, I just feel like that nothing's going to improve if I don't spend them. So kind of the way that I feel. Well, let's take a look at the negotiating screen and see what we've got going. We got $38 million to work with, and we've got Delpit set, his contract set to expire. Tillman, I feel like I can let go because he drafted Branch. McGuire can definitely go. Gross Matos, we only got him on a 1-year deal. We drafted Falk. Collins can go. These guys are really all backup players. You can definitely for sure go. Yeah, I don't think any of these players are worth re-signing. Let me see. Is there anybody's fifth-year option we got to pick up? No, there's not. Okay. So Delpit is the only guy that I think I really want to sign back. So let me actually try a player-friendly deal first. 5 years, $6.3 million, $5.8 million signing bonus. I was looking for a better fit, but I'll reconsider with more offers like this. Okay, so we're going to probably have to, maybe not break the bank, but we're going to have to fork a little bit more over the table to get Delpit to come back. I don't want to lose our starting safety, though. Okay, let me actually take a look and see if we got any injuries that we're dealing with right now. Fannon's still week to week. Judkins has a knee cartilage tear. He's out 2 to 4 weeks. Week to week with Lucas, who's our starting left tackle, and Branch, our rookie, is week to week with a broken thumb. So we got some injuries that we're dealing with. As far as the division standings, we are third behind the Bengals and the Ravens, but the Ravens are 5-1. They look like they're probably going to be the team to run away with the division this year. Let's see how we do against the Bengals. The Battle of Ohio, they're 4-3. And we lost by 7. So that drops us to the same record as the Steelers at 3-5. Fortunately, we're average when it comes to the approval with the coach. How are we doing though with the other coordinators? What are they looking like? Because I'm willing to change things here if we need to. Scott has good. Alex Anthony, our DC, is average. Okay, well, for now, probably not going to make any coaching moves if they're still staying at average and we're not on the risk of getting fired. Our ratings are going up. We got an 83 overall team. Our defense is an 88, but our offense is still stuck at a 79, which to me indicates that Shador is not – okay, well, I said that. He's progressing a little bit. He's at a 71 right now, so he's better than Klubnik. Well, a little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit. He's still right now the starter. I just want to make sure that he's still starting games. That wasn't, changed up. We got the 2-5 Giants this week. I'm hoping this is a win because I feel like we might go into a tailspin if we don't start putting together wins. Yeah, and we're getting blown out now. All right, let's go back and take care of Delpit. I forgot to take care of that the previous week, so let's do it this week. All right. This is breaking the bank, but we can always restructure the contract. 6 years, $6.8 million, $6.3 million signing bonus. This may be breaking the bank too much. I'm just an 83 overall strong safety, but he's probably going to be the top safety on the market if we let him walk. Good offer. Glad we got the deal done. Okay, and that brings us down to $25 million, which isn't too bad, but everybody else can leave. We're not re-signing anybody else. That's the only person that we needed to make a decision on this offseason. Fortunately, we don't have a lot of guys whose contracts are up or anything like that. Most importantly, our best player, Myles Garrett. He's got pretty much a long-term deal. So we don't have to worry about that. At least for right now. All right, well, we're 3-6. We play the same 3-6 Steelers. Let's see if we can avoid going into the basement if we lose this game. But I got a bad feeling we're about to go into a pretty bad part of the season where we're going to be struggling to get any kind of wins. I might have to jump in and play a few games just to avoid getting fired. Okay, we did beat the Steelers, so we're not in the basement of our division. We're 4-6. Bengals are 6-4. Ravens are 6-3. So it's really the battle between the two of them for the division. We only beat the Steelers by 5. We got the 3-6 Jets. Let's see if we got a weekly award winner. Watson, our cornerback, had 7 tackles and 2 interceptions in the game against the Steelers. So congratulations to him, winning AFC Defensive Player of the Week nod there. All right, hopefully we beat the Jets. And we beat the Jets by 11. Okay. Got a new injury, though. Judkins has a pulled groin. He's out 3 to 5 weeks. Yeah, we've dealt with injuries with Judkins for most of the season. But, hey, this is also why we drafted Jam Miller. I mean, getting depth at running back is not the worst thing. And also our ratings are going up on offense finally. We got an 80 offense, we got an 88 defense, and we're 83 overall as a team. So we are improving little by little, but Rome wasn't built in a day. And we're only really one game back from the Bengals in the division for the division race, as far as second place. Looks like our approval is still good with Monken, so let me go ahead and do some upgrades here. Spent a lot there, so now we only have 5 points, but that's okay. Well, this game could be pretty big. Let me see. I want to take a look at our schedule. This is our first time we've played Baltimore this season. I think it is. Yeah, it is. We play them once again in about 3 weeks. Got a lot of division games left. So we're really going to be battling, it seems like, the Bengals for second place. But I'm going to try the sim for this first one against the Ravens. Hopefully we don't get blown out, and maybe we pull off an upset. And we do, oh my goodness, we pulled off the upset. We beat the Ravens by 3. We're kind of climbing up the division race to almost being in second place. Technically we're still 1 game back. That's just because, we have 1 more loss than the Bengals do right now. But that was a huge upset. Honestly, that might be something that could change the trajectory of our season. Based on doing something like that. Shador must be getting better if that's the case. All right, let's take a look at the playoff picture. We're nowhere in sight. I'm not surprised about that. The Bengals are in the playoff picture, though. So maybe there's a chance we can make the postseason if we're able to beat Cincinnati in Week 15. We play the Bucs, and then we play them. And the Bucs are 7-5, so they're a pretty good team. We're third. I Still, let me just double check and make sure that everything is still looking okay. Yeah, Sanders is still starting, even though Klubnik actually is rated a little bit better than him right now at a 72. But I still, want Shedeur to be the guy. He's done pretty decently this season, and I want to stick with him. Now, if we got an injury to Shedeur, then yes, Klubnik is absolutely going in there if something crazy happens. So we at least have, some options. The quarterback room, though, is looking better than I expected it to in the second year. I mean, being at 500 right now at 6-6, I'm not saying this means instant playoffs, but it's better than I expected. I didn't know what to expect this season. Our defense, though, 88 overall. I think Keldrick Falk was absolutely the right pick to be able to have somebody to go on the opposite side of Myles Garrett. We get that front seven in shape. Our linebacking core has gotten better. This team could do something, maybe in the next couple of years, but, we'll see. We're not there yet. We just got to get the quarterback situation kind of worked out, in my opinion, right now. Okay, so we got the Bucs. Please pull off the upset again. Please pull off the upset again. Oh, we got the Bucs. All right, how did we do? And we lost by 30 points to the Bucs. And we dropped down to third in our division, and we played the Bengals this week. I got to play this game. Me playing this game could mean maybe getting a chance at the postseason. Looks like Judkins still has a pulled groin. Worley, our backup free safety, has a shoulder strain. He's week to week. So let me go and check out the depth chart and see if right now they have Judkins in there. No, they do not. They still right now have Sampson as the starter with Miller backing him up and Horvath. I forgot we only have 3 running backs. I could sign somebody from the practice squad if Sanders hasn't been picked up yet, but I feel like I don't know if I want to send anybody down right now. Let's just play this the way that we have to. All right. I'm going to play offense only for this game against the Bengals. Yeah. All right. Second Battle of Ohio. We lost our first game to these guys. If we win this game, we'll have the same record as them. We'll be 1-1 as far as the records between the two teams. So this is pretty big. It also looks like a Thursday night primetime game. So, yeah. Bengals take the early lead. They're up 7-0 already. All right, Shedeur. This is a pretty big, career game for you in terms of proving you are the guy. There we go. We got Judy on the outside. First play. Nice catch. I don't know if I can rely very much on the running game in this one because we have our starting running back Judkins still hurt. But we got decent weapons. That's why I feel like Sanders could develop okay with this team. Here we go, Njoku. Oh, great catch. There we go. Now we're moving the ball. All right, let's go to the run. Come on, Sampson. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone. Oh, there we go, Sampson. Go. Sampson to the goal line. Touchdown, Browns. Let's go. Our backup running back stepping it up. Bengals, though, go right down the field and score again on our defense. Even though our defense is getting better, I'm not surprised, but it's Joe Burrow who's owned Cleveland ever since he became a Bengal. Sandy can't call that.
Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down. Throwing, Sanders.
Go, Shedeur, go. Go, run. Slide, there we go. Avoid contact. Nice job, Shedeur. Way to use your feet. Dang! Oh, that was bad. That was
not a good throw there, and it'll be second down.
That was a terrible.
To throw now. Here's Sanders.
Tillman's still on his feet. Okay, all right. Got 6 yards out of that. That's fine. I'll take that. fork. Yeah, fork sig. There we go, Judy. Thought I threw it a little bit too high at first, but he came down with it. Nice job, Gary.
First down by about a yard. It's a gain of 5 on 3rd and 4. Sanders once more.
We go Branch. We go Rook. If we can get a third decent receiver in the offseason, since we're probably going to let Tillman walk, I'm hoping to get like a veteran guy. I don't know if there's somebody like, well, not Odell, but maybe somebody like, I don't know, maybe like a Tyreek Hill or somebody like that. That might be decent. 3rd and 9. I just mentioned Tyreek Hill because it's kind of fresh on my mind that Miami is, the offseason kind of, hasn't really fully started, but, teams can announce players they're releasing. And Miami's cleaning house in their new regime. They're getting rid of, Bradley Chubb, they're getting rid of a starting guard, and they're getting rid of Tyreek Hill. I never would have thought, 2-3 years ago, I would never think that Tyreek Hill would be somebody that you would just release. But I understand what Miami's doing. Coming off a torn ACL in a new regime, they don't trust him. I personally would like my Cowboys to go after Bradley Chubb, but I just know they will. All right, come on. We got to finish down by the... Oh, that's not good. Get the sack right there. 3rd and goal, and we're at the 18-yard line trying to punch this thing in.
This is the most important of them all. 3rd and goal.
Joku. Oh, it's okay. I'm just going to have to take a field goal.
So now the Browns will turn it over to their field goal unit here. From the right hash, it's a 35-yard attempt.
All right. Got a field goal, down by 4. Our defense finally makes a stop. There's only 17 seconds. Okay, well, we get the ball to start the second half. So I'm okay with going to the locker room only down by 4 and not trying to score. All right. We're in okay shape. Down by 4, going into the half. We've put together decent drives on offense. I just wish that last one could have ended in a touchdown, because I feel like to keep up with Joe Burrow, we need touchdowns, not field goals. In a touchdown.
With you for a short and sweet halftime, as this game's had a little bit of everything to it. We'll find out which side
can struggle with pass protection in this game. Sanders has kind of hit the deck a little bit. Yeah, Burrow is playing pretty well. 157, 2 TDs. We only have 1 rushing touchdown on the day, so. But we get the ball to start the second half. I really feel like we need to be aggressive here. We got to try to score a touchdown. Oh, I thought Jam Miller had a chance to return. All right, here we go.
Working to put a drive together.
Nice score.
Throwing to start the drive. Sanders.
Oh, here we go, Judy. Great route. Great catch. There we go.
And they work this route on field across the 35. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. That's good. Back to throw. Sanders. Open man. That's
oh, good catch. Oh, the joke. I thought he dropped that, actually.
9 yards. And they'll have a second.
No, that was Tillman. I'm sorry. 1 yard. Pick it up. There we go, Samson. There we go. Good run.
And a very determined run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 27. Good effort. It's a gain of 16 yards. From the gun, it's Sanders.
Oh, there we go. Oh, dang. Oh, my. I thought I hit him right in. He better not house this. Okay, thank you, Joel. That doesn't make the comeback easy. First turnover of the game.
Off the play fake. Here's Sanders.
Please catch that. Dang. Maybe I shouldn't be that aggressive, but we feel like it's the third quarter. We need to get points here.
From the gun, it's Shador.
Good, Judy.
That's caught left side by Judy.
Good job. Let's get the stride back on track.
Get this one across the 35. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
With that interception, like, I swear, like, the animation, like, did its deal where it just, it's like the guy stopped running his route. Njoku would have had that ball. Like, I thought I hit it right in his breadbasket. What is... I gotta look at, like, who busted their assignment there. I'm sorry. Like, Sanders has gotten sacked a bunch of the... Joel? It's you? Dude. '85 overall left guard, and you're going to get beat like that.
Jay Hill. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
And we paid you all that money this offseason, man. Come on. I tried too hard with Brants there. We're just going to have to punt this. I know it's, points are tough to punt. We got to punt it. Bring him down. There you go. Freaking long snapper stole had to come up and make that play. Bengals score again. Honestly, that pretty much that's it. I think this game's pretty much out of reach. We just don't have enough to take these guys down. We keep dropping balls. Well, if this is any kind of measuring stick, definitely proves that Tillman, you had that, man. If you just hold on to that ball, that's a first down, and maybe we got a chance.
Out of the gun here, Sanders.
Now we can't complete a pass.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half.
4th down, 10, got to go for it.
And you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway.
And my best wide receiver can't play. Yep, that's about all she wrote, y'all.
What can this offense do? We're about to find out. Here's Sanders.
Try to score one more.
To start the drive. Completes the pass to Judy on the crossing pattern. And he'll be out of bounds.
Still like five minutes to go. Tell you one thing, our defense might be improving, but they got absolutely carved up tonight by Joe Burrow, considering the fact that there's 35 points on the score. So, if this game is any measuring stick, it proves that we are still a decent ways away from competing with the likes of Cincinnati and Baltimore for the division title for the AFC. I mean, it's a rebuild for a reason, but starting from ground zero, especially this kind of ground zero with this team and this organization is tough. Despite Deshaun Watson's cap number that that this team has had, he didn't really hinder our inability to, go after guys last season. So now with him off the books, I'm hoping that this offseason we can really get some improvement from the team. I'm just going to go for it. 4th and 10. I've been throwing the ball deep, the entire quarter. Judy! Nope. That's ball game. So we get blown out on Thursday Night Football, 35-10 by the Bengals. Part of me is surprised, but another part of me is kind of like, yeah, it's pretty bad. I don't know what's taking it to. Okay. Well, I think that pretty much seals our fate in terms of being able to compete for the division. Being 6-8, we're not going to have a chance to compete for a division title this year. Let me see what that did to our approval. 63, okay, 41. Okay, all right, we're still okay, I feel like. Yeah, this season is pretty much like a wash. I really don't see us, competing for the playoffs or anything. We got a dislocated wrist for Hall. I'm going to go ahead and simulate this game against the Ravens. I don't think we'll pull off the upset twice this year against them. And we don't. We get blown out by 16. Well, we don't get blown out. We lose by 16 points. All right, well, we got 2 games left. We got the Steelers to wrap up the season. They're the last team in our division. But at this point, we're actually battling for, like, 3rd place with those guys. So the Raiders are better this season. They're 7-8. We're 6-9. Battle with 2 pretty bad teams. Not very bad, but, not that great. And we actually were able to beat the Raiders by 1 point. Okay, so we have a new injury. Myles Garrett is out, upper arm fracture, 2 to 4 weeks. All right, well, we're going to put him on IR. He won't be playing the last game against the Steelers anyway, so we're going to go ahead and put him on IR. Hard as a hit pointer week to week, but it's not definitive, so let's go to Coach Central and see where our approval is. We're still average, good, and average. Okay, well, at least we're not in any danger of getting fired. That's good. At least not for this season. But if anything, it still shows that we still have a lot of improvement that we need to do with this team. But, hey, it's part of the rebuild. So let's see. We're 7-9 right now. We're playing the Steelers this week. If we win, we'll definitely secure 3rd place in the division. And also, we will finish with more wins than we did last year. 8 wins was kind of the ceiling that I was thinking anyway, and we actually got a chance to do that against the Steelers this week. Let me see how things are progressing with the QBs. Both are 72s, but I still want to stick with Sanders. So I want to do the same thing in the Steelers game. The final game of the regular season, I'm actually going to go with the white uniforms, just to kind of, adjust that. Make the Steelers wear their home uniforms. And do that. All right, last game of the season for us, playing the rival Steelers at home to end the season. See if we can get a dub today. We got Judkins back in the fold. That makes me feel good about our running game. Even though Sampson was actually playing okay in the Bengals game I played. But Judkins is in the 80s already. I think this guy is our franchise runner. I think we found something.
Here we go. They'll throw on 1st down with Sanders. To the sideline is over everybody. But now a penalty flag will come in. They may get him for grounding.
Well. Can't stop grounding sometimes.
From the gun, it's Sanders. Throw here down the field.
I don't know how that was low.
Incomplete. This opening drive
that was on the
not
money.
going as scripted. It is 3rd and long.
And of course, Brady's.
It's incomplete. Good job separating the receiver from the ball. And
Well, that penalty just really messed our drive up. As much as I want Sanders to be the franchise guy, if it's going to take several years for him to get better, I'm open to looking at what quarterback is out there. So John Mateer from Oklahoma is their starting quarterback for the Steelers. Steelers don't do anything on their first drive either. But it looks like they have Tad Mateer as their guy to replace Aaron Rodgers. Which isn't too bad of an idea.
From the 24 now, here is 2nd and 3.
I felt...
They'll come up to 3rd and 3.
Come on. Liking 18. Let's go.
From the shotgun, it's Sanders. Backs to the open man.
It's I know Tillman, may keep pleading his case to stay, but I just don't think I can afford him with that contract that I gave Delpit. And we got to improve this offense. Like, we don't need a 70 receiver. We need a few 80s guys at different positions. That's what I really need.
That time in on the stop. Out of the gun, it's Sanders.
Go Branch.
Back to the rookie flying out from Georgia. And they'll have it across midfield down at the opposing 46-yard line. Judkins now on first and 10.
Yo, Judkins breaking tackles. Rugging off everybody.
A fresh set of downs to work with. It is first down and 10. Judkins going to get it on his own read. And he shows up with
That was a big run.
legs running through one tackle. Give him a
Little
gain
fullback
of 8.
run.
Ball on the 27. Here's second down and 2. No run for the first time, but they're full.
Fullback.
And he's got it. First down. Pick up of 4.
This quarter's almost up. It's been a pretty long drive, but
From the gun, it's Shador. That one incomplete. The defender right there to make the
we'll try the screen.
And it's second down.
It's like Mike Tomlin's still the head coach of the Steelers in this universe.
Here's Sanders to throw. There's a screen set up for
Ah.
Judkins. This one gonna be
Yeah, that was not good.
blown up in the backfield. Third and long.
Let's go.
Now Shador.
Oh. Ooh, he got hit hard.
To gain a 9. But
Well, we're just gonna settle for the field goal. I thought maybe I could muscle my way for that first down, even though he's a quarterback, but didn't happen.
this one,
But we get on the board finally at the end of the first quarter with a field goal. Steelers, once again, don't do anything on their drive. So this may be a low-scoring battle where
the drive begins
defense
at the 20.
reigns supreme.
First and 10. To throw is Sanders.
Just throw it away. Okay, good. I was outside of the tackle box that time. TJ Watt is a menace. Needless to say, but everybody already knows that. So that's not anything.
Give your quarterback somewhere to go with the ball, but give credit to the defense.
That was a bad throw. I threw it way too high.
And he's going to give his guys a
They come up with a pick, and they get a field goal to tie this thing.
As Shador on first down.
Okay, good catch, Jerry. Way to hold on to the ball. It's tough, but he got it.
44-yard line. On first down, it's Sanders.
Here we go.
Right back to Judy. He's got it again. And they'll move this one down inside the 40-yard line.
Come on, Judkins.
Rest at the 37. It's first and 10. They'll give it here to Judkins. And he'll be stacked up at the line of scrimmage. Ball on the 36 now. Here's second and 9. Now it's Sanders.
There we go, Njoku. Good catch.
Right side,
All right.
taken by
Third and short.
And he'll be stopped short of the first down. He's able to look it in and get
It's 1 yard, guys. 1 yard. Pick this up. Come on.
of about 8.
Ready.
On third down,
Are you-
here's Judkins. And he's not going to get the first down. They met him, brought him down in the backfield on third and short.
Next season, we got to make those.
He is
Another field goal try. Breaks the tie. 6. Okay, it's third quarter. But we have a long field to drive. Yeah, we're going to run this ball. I should not be passing this.
They'll run with Judkins to begin the drive. Not much there, maybe a yard.
So everything this defense talks about, Mike, is creating negative plays. It's one of the best run defenses in football.
Come on.
Everything is about
Catch.
you at the line of scrimmage,
And, oh, it's
making you
inches
work
short.
for
Okay.
everything you get.
All right, Judkins, come on. Pick up this first.
First down, he's able to look it in and get forward for a pickup.
Good block. Could have been a little bit better.
First down, working his way to the 20-yard line. Here's first and 10.
Ready.
On play action.
Oh, way to hold on to it, Judy. Great catch. Heck of a catch, man. There we go.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders.
Jefferson's flat. Okay. 4 yards. Hey, late hit. Animations. Yeah, they don't call late hits in these games. They do. They really do. That animation really doesn't exist. Well, it does, but they never call it. Did you catch that? Yeah, Branch did. All right, awesome. I thought he didn't catch that. He did. It's going to be a controversial idea, but running it 3rd and 3. And that was a bad idea. We didn't even get 1 yard on that play. Are you serious? 56-yard field goal.
So on comes Joshua Carty to try this field goal. 3 for 3 in the game as this one.
Carty's made all of our points today. Earning his paycheck. But our defense is doing okay even without Myles Garrett. Oh! Better about throwing the ball away.
Work to do now as they come up on 2nd and long. Now, Sanders. This defense hitting their ears.
TJ Watt back-to-back sacks. That's not good. Gonna get 3rd one, just throw it. Oh, that was nearly a pick.
Down the field, but that ball's incomplete. Jerry Jeudy, the intended target. And it's going to be 4th down.
Oh, that's a good punt.
And this is going to work out.
Let's go, Pinion. Out of bounds on the 5. Good punt. And it doesn't matter because they try the only touchdown of the game. Oh, man. Okay. We got to go 2 minutes, basically. All we need is a field goal to win this defensive battle, tough, hitting, kicking, spitting, nasty game. All right. It's a 2-minute warning. We got a nice completion to start the drive. We just need a field goal. Oh, Judkins, go. Go. Thank you. Thank you. 60 yards rushing for him today. That's not gaudy numbers, but we'll take it. We still got a little ways to go. I'm going to change the play here. Do something a little bit more cross-course. Could go no huddle here, but I don't want to leave the Steelers for any time to do it. So, oh, you're wide open, man. Oh. Yeah, okay, it's okay that he got out of bounds. All right, I'm going to run it. We got all 3 timeouts left. So do they. That's the thing. Run. Okay, now they're going to start burning their timeouts. Well, this is a tight game, even for it being a meaningless game for both of us. But Browns Steelers rivalry that means something. All right, they got 1 timeout left. We're in field goal range. So now we just got to make sure that we take care of this ball. We keep going forward.
They'll come up for 2nd and 9. Here we go. Here we go. They'll run.
All right, that's the final timeout. What does it make this? 3rd and 8? Part of me wants to throw the ball here just to try to get that 1st down. I'm going to throw it. I'm going to throw it.
Now, a big 3rd down. Let's go now. Go. He'll look to throw.
So, oh, he caught it. He didn't get in, but he caught it. He's down to the 1. What a play. Wow. I thought I threw that ball way too high and Njoku wasn't going to catch it. Okay, so I'm going to run one more play. We might even score a touchdown here. If we do, that would be even better. But if we don't, I'm not going to get too worried. All right. All right, okay, that's fine. That's okay, that's fine.
yardage. They push him backwards.
Let this tick all the way down to like 2 seconds. Timeout. All right. All right. So let's just kick the field goal and get out of here with the win. We haven't scored 1 touchdown today, but at least our kicker has been accurate so far. This is a 19-yard extra point. They have no timeouts, so they can't ice him. This is for the win and to get us to 8 wins on this season. And he makes it, and we win our final game of the season, 12-10. Very ugly game, but our defense was able to hold serve enough, even without the best player on defense in football. And we walk away with a 12-10 victory over the rival Steelers. We'll take it. Hopefully sets up, a little bit better things to come in 2027. But let's see. We played better than we did last season, and we were better. We did finish. Oh, we got a contract extension. 3 years, $5 million. Extend your contract. Okay, very good. Well, that's good. As far as Coach Central, we're still average at, 51. Let's go ahead and do some upgrades. We got 49 points to spend, so why not? Like I said earlier, you do really need to, use these upgrades whenever you can because it does improve your coach, especially if you're starting one from scratch, which I am. Well, the season, there was a chance we were sitting there at 6-6. We could have, gone one or two ways. We could either fall off a cliff and struggle, or we could find a way to scratch and claw our way into the postseason. And unfortunately, that loss to the Bengals basically did us in. We just were blown out of that game, and that effectively ended our season. But we finished 8-9. We did better than we did last year. We're on the up and up. But if I'm being brutally honest, I'm going to look at the stats and see kind of how Sanders really did compared to the rest of the league. I still feel like that we need to do something different with the quarterback position because I don't know if I want to sit around for 2 years and risk getting fired if Shedeur is not going to get better, not get too much better quickly than what he is right now. But we'll see how things go. All right, playoffs for year 2 are like this. We got the Bills against the Patriots, the Ravens against the Bengals, and then the Texans against the Broncos. The Chargers got the number 1 seed. Number 1 seed in the NFC is the Packers. We got the Rams against the Cowboys, Eagles, Cardinals, Bucks, and the Lions. All right, so let's go ahead and advance to the playoffs and see what happens. All right, so now we're going to see who is going to the Super Bowl, and it's going to be the Lions against the Bills. Okay. And look at that. The Cowboys finally got to the NFC Championship game for the first time since 1995. Lost to the Lions, but they got revenge on the Packers at Lambeau Field. So shout out to my Cowboys, especially being they came in as the 7th seed, the last seed wild card team, and they went on the road and beat the Rams, went on the road and beat the Packers with Micah there. Dag must have had a pretty good year. Let's take a look at the Pro Bowl roster. I'm guessing Garrett will be on this list, but if this was to be anything in real life, he wouldn't play in the game because he like broke his fibula or something. I don't know. He got it that injury. Looks like we got Mott. Taylor Mott made the Pro Bowl, our free agent signing in the offseason, so good for him. That was a pretty good signing in the end. Owosu made it, okay. And I think that's it. Oh, Denzel Ward, all right. So it looks like we had only 3 guys. We had Denzel Ward, we also had Owosu, and we had Motton, our right tackle, made it. Okay. We had a couple of Pro Bowlers represented there. A couple of Browns represented the Pro Bowl, I should say. All right, let's check out the yearly awards. The MVP is Joe Burrow. The Coach of the Year is Jim Harbaugh. All right, AFC Offensive Player of the Year goes to Joe Burrow of the Bengals. Nobody else. Nobody on the Browns. Defensive Player of the Year. Garrett came in 8th for this. Not surprised, but he did get hurt till the last couple of games. Looks like in this universe, the Kansas City Chiefs also drafted Jeremiah Love. He finished as the Offensive Rookie of the Year. Branch came in 4th, so he got a little bit of appreciation there. Defensive Rookie of the Year. Keldrick Falk finished 2nd behind Peter Woods for Defensive Rookie of the Year in the AFC. Okay, so that's looking like a better pick. Best QB, no sign of Shador. Best running back, Judkins didn't even crack the top 10. Best receiver, not even Judy is on here. Best offensive lineman, Wyatt Teller finished 6th. I mean, he's worth that new contract. Best defensive lineman, Myles Garrett finished 7th. Best linebacker, nobody. Not even Owusu? Owusu wasn't on here? No, I guess not. Best DB, Denzel Ward finished 5th. Best kicker, Joshua Carty, he finished 3rd. So, yeah, not really anybody in the running for anything except really Keldrick Falk, who finished 2nd for Defensive Rookie of the Year for the AFC. All right, so let's take a look and see who wins Super Bowl between the Lions and the Buffalo Bills. And it is the Lions winning their first Super Bowl, taking down the Bills by a pretty wide margin. Jahmyr Gibbs was the MVP, and there's all the award winners off to the right, as you see. And overall Defensive Rookie of the Year went to Reuben Bain Jr. from the Commanders. So yeah. All right, let's check out the retirements. I want to see who retired. Let's see, not a lot of big names this year. Let's see if anybody retired from us. We did have some retirements. Higbee is retiring. Lucas is retiring after 13 years. I didn't know he'd been in the league for 13 years. So we're losing our left tackle, but we had to improve that position in the offseason anyway. And Malik Collins, former Cowboy, he's retiring after 11 years. And Higbee is our third-string tight end. Didn't really get a lot of playing time anyway, but for depth, I signed him. He's retiring as well. So not a lot of big retirements, but we are losing our starting left tackle, but we need to improve that anyway. So not anything too crazy. We're going to keep our coaching staff the way that it is right now because all of our guys are at least average. None of them are, very bad. So not looking too crazy. Let's go to staff improvement, actually. Have a little meeting here. I've been kind of skipping these meetings. I tend to do that. Try down the passing game. Let's do that. Focus on that. All right. So let's. This is the final chance we have to negotiate with any players. I don't really think. Do I want to keep Tillman? I really don't think it's worth trying to keep him. I mean, even though he's 76, we could find another receiver. I feel like that's just as good as him. So I'm going to let him walk. All right, let's go ahead and advance to next week. Free agency. We have, I think, about like $30 million to spend. So we're starting out with an okay numbers, but as always, we need to take a look at these contracts and see who we can restructure. We're going to go position by position. Sanders is our top quarterback at 73 overall, so. Could it be restructured? I doubt it, but let's see. No, he can. Gabriel. This could be restructured. Free up 100K. It looks like he actually did progress to a 70. That's not too bad. Judkins kind of hold it steady there at an 83, but that's not. That's fine. Did Miller be restructured? No. We don't have a fullback because Horvath is going to walk, so we do need to replace that. Can Branch be restructured? I don't think so. Oh, Judy is on the last year of his contract going into next season. That's actually kind of big. We got to, kind of think about, consider that. Branch is up to an 80. So, yeah, I think letting Tillman walk is just fine. I think we can find somebody to go in as our third receiver. I want to really find like a veteran guy if we can. Njoku, 4 years left on his deal. Can he be restructured? Yes, he can. Free up $2.36 million, which is good. Can Fannin be restructured as well? Yep, 120K. We have no left tackles on the roster at all. We have no centers. These guys are on the last year of their deals. Motton as well. They're the rookie, but I doubt we can restructure. No, we can't. Okay, all right. What about Leviston? I definitely want to keep Leviston actually on the roster for depth. I could cut him, but I want to keep him for depth. Falk is up to an 82. So, looking pretty good as far as the draft pick is concerned. Can Garrett be restructured again? Yes, he can. Free up $11.9 million. I appreciate him being cooperative, being able to, free up some of that money. All right. Defensive tackles, what about Graham? He's got 2 years left on his deal. He can't be restructured. Okay. He's up to an 82 now, so he's a little bit better. This guy can be restructured. Free up 40K. J.J. Pugos. What about Huntington? Nope. He's got 1 year left. Swaysinger, he can be restructured to free up $260K. Bush, we gave him a very hefty contract. Probably overpaid, but to keep this linebacking core intact and to keep that defense improving, I felt it was worth it. Oh, boy. Yeah, okay, this is why we need to look, to cut back a little bit, because Denzel Ward is going into the final year of his contract. He's got 1 year left. He's a 93 corner. I don't want to let him walk. We kind of overpaid for Watson this offseason, but we can restructure $2.05 million. Tyson Campbell still has 2 years left on his deal, but he can't be restructured. He's actually an 80 now. So we have 3 corners that are in the 80s or the 90s. So, you look at this defense, and, little by little, it's getting better. During the season, they improved, and looks like, going into the offseason, they're going to be, most of them are improving. So it's good to know. I do need to think about, life after Malik Hooker, because Bud Clark is only a 68, and I don't know how much he'll really develop. Delbert, we just gave a big, giant new contract to. He can be restructured and save us $3.6 million. Okay, sorry, I had to look at something that's being shipped to my apartment. Phil Moran. I don't know too much about this guy, if I'm being honest. He can't be restructured, so that makes you feel a little bit better. About McMillan. Nope. We don't have a kicker or a punter. We still have our long snapper Stoll. But most importantly, Deshaun Watson is off the books. We don't have to deal with that anymore. Okay, so let's go and take a look at the free agency list. We got $54.6 million left, and look who is a free agent. Quinnen Williams is a free agent. Dallas, how did you let that happen after just trading for that man at this time 2 seasons ago? Jerry. Well, there actually is a pretty good load of talent there, but all of these guys that are like high end, we'd have to break our bank. We'd have to give all that money to Quentin Williams just to get him. And you know what? I'm okay with keeping Mason Graham. All right. Let's back it up a little bit, and let's see maybe who is like an actual option. Somebody who is, who is decent. All right. Let me take a look at what quarterbacks are out here. Nothing. No really good quarterbacks are out there. Okay, so I guess that, if we want to try to bring in another quarterback to be a rookie to compete for the job, it's going to be a rookie or we trade for somebody. I'll see if I can, but I doubt that. We have some tradable pieces, but I just don't know if I want to give up on some guys. But anyway. All right, as far as running back, I think we're pretty good. We do need a fullback. I'm gonna go after Blossom Game. Let's go with a team-friendly deal for him. Get him in here as our fullback. He's 71. Low minimal contract, sure, but yeah. As far as receivers, I mean, Curtis Samuel wouldn't be that bad of an option. We don't really need to break the bank, in my opinion, for any receivers, but I think bringing in Curtis Samuel would be okay. Bring him in, only on a one-year deal. Give us a little bit of depth at receiver. Give us another weapon for Shador or whoever our quarterback is going to be. Our tight end room is, it does need some depth, but it's not anything too. We could get Tremble, but you know what? I got to spend time looking at positions that we just need a starter at. All right. We need a left tackle, and we need a starting center. That's what we really need to focus on, our offensive line starters. We need a left tackle and a starting center. Starting left tackle, starting center. Charles Cross is the top guy. This may be, tough, but let's try the neutral deal first and see where this puts us. It does put us in first place. Okay, so let's up the stakes. Let's do a player-friendly deal for 3 years, $9.9 million. Drops us down to 28. And I'm going to hold serve at that. Not going any higher than that. We need a starting center. Elgin Jenkins would not be a bad option, but he's 31. But also Bradbury is 32, and he'll probably retire. Jenkins will probably play at least one more year in the league. So I think I want to try to go after him. It drops us down to $14 million. Okay, you know what? I'm withdrawing that offer. That's going to basically eat away all the room that we have. Bradbury only wants a one-year deal anyway, and we're also his only offer. So you know what? Because of that, let's go team-friendly deal. Drop it down, save some of that money. We've got $22 million now. We're his only offer. I know that's not anything too spectacular, but to get a style and caliber center, even though it'll probably be just a one-year rental, I'll be fine. I really want that left tackle, though. I don't think there's really any improvements at right guard. We do need some depth at left and right edge rusher. We need a backup middle linebacker. Cornerback depth is fine. We could draft somebody there. Yeah, we also need a kicker and a punter. We need to spend money there. All right, we can do one more negotiation during this cycle. Chris Boswell is the top kicker. Only with a one-year deal. See if that does it. We're down to $16.1 million. Not going to really spend the big bucks, but we're really spending it on the left tackle, if we can get him. If we don't get him, then we're going to have to come up with a backup plan for a starter. Hopefully there'll be at least maybe somebody available, but hopefully we got it. Quentin Williams he's going back to the Jets. Okay, pretty interesting there. Cross ended up going to the Texans, so we didn't get him. Okay, so let's go after Orlando Brown Jr. then, former Bengal. Only wants a one-year deal anyway. Okay, the Falcons are in the running for him too. I hate to overpay. Player-friendly deal for 2 years, $4.5 million. We've got the extra money. Let's fork it out there. Did we sign anybody in the first wave that was decent? Okay, we got Boswell and we've got Chris Samuel. So I guess we didn't get the center, Bradbury. Okay, we're still negotiating with Bradbury. That's good. Okay, what about free safeties? Is there anybody in the 80s out here? Xavier Woods is out there, but that is not a big upgrade from Hooker. So, all right, we need a kicker. Oh, we already got the kicker. My bad. We need a punter. So let's go get Sanchez. Let's get the top punter then while we're at it. Let's go and get the top punter. All right, we're his only offer, so that's fine. God, Richardson and Mac Jones are the top two quarterbacks available in free agency. These guys, yes, they are better than what we have, technically in terms of overalls. But if I'm going to spend money on a QB, I want that guy to be in the 80s. There's nobody in the 80s. If Sanders can't get it done in the third year, I think then is maybe when I might decide to pull the trigger on trading for somebody. Because I don't know if I want to try to make a big-time trade just yet. Because I'm good because if I want to get a starting quarterback from another team, I'm going to have to trade a decent piece. Like, I mean, I could, maybe try to trade, Judy as a part of the deal and have Branch be the top receiver and really try to make him be the. But I'd rather have two good receivers than just one good one. Possibly Njoku, but Fannin is not. He hasn't gotten a lot better. Myles Garrett is not going to be a part of any trade talks. I'd be crazy to trade that guy. I mean, I know he's the top guy, but I'd be crazy to trade him. I could try to trade one of the linebackers, maybe a corner. Watson does have the trade target veteran tag on him. Tyson Campbell is an 81. I could sign a corner. Okay. Let me try to take a look at a trade. Is there anybody even on the block? Well, Kyler Murray is on the block. But going to a 76 QB, that isn't going to get any better. Like, the ceiling is low for him. Yeah, there's really nobody on the block that's any decent except for Kyler Murray. But I don't really think that it's worth it to trade for him, considering also what I potentially also have to give up. That's another thing that really kind of, has me worried. If I'm going to trade for a QB, it's going to be somebody that is decent. Okay. Let's take a look at the landscape of the NFL. Somebody who is... Nix is only an 87. But I'd have to give up picks and probably a couple of starters to get him. Drew Allar, who was drafted last year, is an 86. Purdue. No, Penn State guy. The Colts quarterback room is a mess. They got nobody right now. They're just as... Well, they're not as in bad a shape as we are, but... If I recall, sometimes in the scenarios, Brock Purdy becomes a free agent, but maybe I could try. But I also got to look at the cap room for these teams too, because I don't know if it would work. Okay, Purdy possibly. Everyone's a possibility too. The Jaguars got a lot of cap room. He had $69 million. Deshaun Watson got signed by the Rams. As far as like getting somebody decent, let me see if I can try to make a trade for Brock Purdy, y'all. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this, and I know it's going to cost me a pick. Let's start with the second rounder and see what they'll take. Will they take this and Jalen Watson for Brock Purdy? Second round pick, declined. Okay, so why don't we take... All right. Why don't we add one of our QBs to this? Let's put Klubnik on here. So we at least give them a quarterback back. Nope, still declined. Okay, so we would probably have to add maybe try to add one more decent player. Maybe Dylan Sampson. Still declined. Okay. there's only a certain amount of, players you can add to a trade block. Already have Watson on there. I think as far as the players that I'd be willing to trade in this, I think that's really it. I think it just comes down to the pick. Let's add another pick. Add another draft pick, maybe. What about a third for this year? Still declined. Okay. All right, let me try to add maybe a fourth. All right, it's still declined. All right. I think I know what I have to do. And I hate doing this, but let's stick with what we have. Let's just try the players just for the sake of it. Okay, that's obviously going to be declined. We have the 11th overall pick. Let's give them that. What pick do they have? What pick do they have? They have the 14th pick. Okay. Okay, this is the final offer I'm going to make for this. Jalen Watson, Cade Klubnik, first rounder this year for their first rounder, and Brock Purdy. And it's still declined. Okay, we're taking this off the board. We're not going to be able to get Purdy. Okay, but you know what? Let's check out the Jags. What about Trevor Lawrence? I know he's a little bit, worse than Purdy, but it's an 83 overall. We might have a better chance to get him. Let's put that second round pick back on the board. And let's get Watson on here. Let's start with this and work our way up. All right, that's obviously declined. Oh yeah, let's put Klubnik on here. Okay, it's declined, but we're getting there. Maybe one more veteran player. We already got. What was that? What was the other player that I was kind of, flirting with, trading? Oh yeah, Samson, running back. Wow, we're close. Okay, maybe another pick. About the third rounder. We're close. Fourth rounder. Still declined, but we're close. All right, well, okay, so let's try this instead. Let's keep the players on the board that we have. Let's just take a look at this. All right. What is their pick? They have the 15th pick. Okay, we have the 11th pick. This would get us back in the first round. It's declined. I guess we would have to do the pick. And you know what? Let's try this in the third. It's still declined, but it's getting close. Up to 3 players in a trade package. Right. Maybe if I take Klubnik off, that will help? No, it won't. That doesn't help at all. I guess we would really have to just trade a first-round pick in order to get anybody. All right, this is going to be tough. It's going to be hard to swallow this pride, but I'm going to trade my first-round pick to them. Trevor Lawrence move up. And it's declined. Yeah, there's no way they're going to take that. What about maybe we get their second-round pick? but we give them our first-round pick. We have a couple of second-rounders. And still declined. All right, we're going to have to try another one. All right. Were there any other quarterbacks that I was thinking about? Maybe Goff, but that would be hard to come by, I feel like. You know what? C.J. Stroud played at Ohio State. He would get a chance to come home and be a part of this rebuild. We're going to start high. Put our first-round pick on there and see if they will give us their first-round pick. It's 22nd. Nope. All right. Let's add a couple players. Yeah, that's decline. There's no way. Yeah, we're not. I don't think we're getting anywhere with this one. What was the other player that I usually like kind of flirt with trading? I forget who it is. It's not a receiver, is it? No, it's not a receiver. It's a running back. Yeah. Picks. Maybe a second-round pick. It's like selling the farm, but still declined. Okay. Ugh. Maybe a second-rounder next year. Still declined. Okay. I'm going to keep everything that I have on the board. Try to go after Purdy again. Second-round pick. Still declined. All right, one more pick ought to do it. What about our third rounder this year? Oh, we're close. You know what? Okay. Let's keep this same package and try for Trevor Lawrence again. Okay. Let's go with their second-round pick. Okay. Our first rounder, Jalen Watson, Dylan Sampson, second rounder for next year. No, second rounder for this year. First and second rounders for this year. Second rounder next year. Third rounder this year. And they give us also a second-round pick for this year. Wow. We got Trevor Lawrence. Well, guys, risky 100%. But you know what? We need a QB, and we got him. And we actually, I should have put Klubnik in the trade. And really, this doesn't cripple us. It cripples us in terms of draft capital, sure, but we didn't really have to, break the bank. We still got decent receivers, decent tight end. We're going to get upgrades at hopefully, left guard, left tackle, and everything like that. But first things first, Trevor Lawrence, we got to get you your number right, sir. Who's wearing 16 out here? You, Isaiah Bond. I think he wore like maybe 7 or 17 at, Texas or something like that. Yeah, let's give him 17. Trevor Lawrence, you were going to wear 16. I know this is probably a very wacky, weird scenario that nobody would ever see coming. Trevor Lawrence being traded from the Jaguars to the Cleveland Browns. We can also restructure his contract after we traded for him. So that's going to save us a little bit of cap space, so that's good. And now we get to adjust his number, number 16. We've got our new quarterback. I just want to. This is a rebuild where I just felt like, you know what, this might be a rebuild where in a scenario I can try to trade for an established veteran quarterback who's decent, but just needs to give this team just a kickstart in the right direction. Shador, I'm sorry. Klubnik, I'm sorry, but we need to get better at QB, and I don't want to be waiting around too long for that. So we got Judkins. We lost some draft capital in the process, but overall wise, I think we're still going to be a decent team in decent shape. Okay, let's go to free agency again and take a look because I forgot where we left off. Okay, who have we targeted? Punter, starting left tackle, starting center, and a starting fullback. So, yeah, we can do some more targets. We only have $12 million, though, because, of course, we had to do the trade. So we're going after Orlando Brown Jr., but we need a backup left tackle. Justin Scully. Skule. I don't know how you pronounce that name exactly. But I think we're going to go after him as our backup left tackle. We need a backup left guard, too. Get somebody. Alex. Let's see. We don't have any centers on the roster, do we? Or do we actually have a backup center on the roster? Okay, we have no centers. No centers. We're getting Bradbury. So let's get a backup center. Backup center. Bradbury's got going after. Bates available again. I want to get him back. Let's go with Will Clapp. 1-year deal, player-friendly deal. Okay, what other positions for depth do we need to address? What about on defense? All right. We need a backup left edge rusher. Defensive tackle room is okay. We need a backup middle linebacker. All right. Left edge rusher, middle linebacker. Okay. Ooh. This wouldn't be that bad. Oh, we don't have enough salary cap room to make that. What about a team-friendly deal for 1 year? We don't have enough room to do that either. Okay. Well, dang. We're just going to have to go lower, I guess. Taquan Lewis, maybe? Barely enough to probably make that offer. $160K left. All right. Well, that's going to have to do it because we're pretty low on money right now. All right. Who did we sign? Okay, we got the punter, the kicker, we got the left tackle, we did get the center, we got Samuel in the first wave, we got Lewis to sign, we got fullback, left guard, center. Oh, this guy is still negotiating. Okay. All right. Okay, what other positions do we need to address on this team for depth? We need a backup middle linebacker. This one I don't know who we can afford. You know what? I'm okay with letting that just kind of playing itself out. We'll address that in the draft. We barely have enough money anyway, so we're going to go ahead and advance through free agency. We're going to call it here, and we're going to go through the draft. Let me actually change some of the numbers here. Chris Samuel, I know he wore number 10. Let me give him something that's maybe like in the teens. 87 just looks kind of weird on him. In like 11. Pretty appropriate that Orlando Brown Jr. would be playing for the Browns just like his dad did, even though he had that horrific accident with the flag and everything hitting his face. I really would like to give him 77 if I can, but 77 available. Who's wearing that? Teller's wearing it. Let's see. What numbers has Orlando Brown Jr. worn? Orlando Brown Jr. Looks like he's worn like 75, or he's wearing 75 right now. He wore 57 in Kansas City, 78 in Baltimore. We can have him maybe wear like 78. I think that number's available. Yeah, let's give him that. Orlando Brown Jr., our new starting left tackle, number 78. He helps out a little bit. You know, I was hoping to get Jenkins, but if that's the best that we could do, it is what it is. Let's see. Garrett Bradbury, I know he wears... Garrett Bradbury, I think he wears like... yeah, actually he does wear 65. Okay. So he's still wearing his number. Boswell, I know that Delpit is wearing 9, so he can't have that number. Maybe you can give him like 19 or something. Yeah. Tillman's not wearing that number anymore. Yeah. Okay. So going into the draft, we only have a second-round pick, fourth-rounder, fifth-rounder, 2 fifth-rounders actually, and 2 seventh-rounders. So we don't have a ton of picks as last year, but I do think that the trade for Trevor Lawrence is going to be worth it for being able to hopefully get this team into the playoffs next season. Because I just feel like that Shedeur was going to still be a long ways away from developing based on the way that things are going. So let's actually go. Well, we can't look at the mock draft. We'll do those first rounders. Okay. So we're just gonna have to go in this, not really looking at mocks.
Welcome.
Mainly because we're not in the first round. It stinks that I had to give away that first round pick to get Trevor Lawrence, but it's worth it. All right. Here we are, second rounder. Let's hit this one on the money. Okay, we actually do need a starting free safety because, Malik Hooker's not going to play forever. So, you know what? I think getting a KJ Bolden out of Georgia is the move, especially for a second-round selection. And it's an A-plus selection, so not bad for the first pick for us, even though it's a second-round pick. And we don't pick until, of course, the fourth round. So here we go. We could use defensive tackle help, but we could also use receiver help too. I think Brett Randolph might be a decent selection here, just for depth. It's C+, though. I don't really think we'll be drafting anybody this year that's going to be a starter. Some receivers are available up here. Channing Cohen out of Louisville. Let's get another receiver weapon. It's an average pick. I'll take it, though. Yeah, they booed that one. But there's a bunch of receivers at defensive tackle, but I don't want to double dip. This might be a reach, but I'm going to go after Mason Hartman, left tackle, because Orlando Brown Jr. might be here, but I don't know how long he's going to be here, and that's a bad pick. Not surprised. I really thought that was going to be a bad pick anyway, regardless of what I did. 7th round selection. We have 2 of these. Let's get Cody Barnett. We do need tight end depth. Tight end at West Virginia. Let's get him. Oh, it's an F. My first F pick. This guy's probably going to be like a 50-something. Ugh. Yeah, this draft is nothing special, but I'm hoping it's worth it that we brought in Trevor Lawrence. Eddie Terrell actually slipped a little bit. I didn't expect him to slip. North Carolina receiver. Let's double dip. All right, C+. That might be our diamond in the rough pick. All right, let's take a look at our draft recap here. Let's see what everybody's overall is. So KJ Bolden for our 2nd round pick is the highest rated guy, so that's good. We do need to think about our free safety of the future because Malik Hooker is probably only going to play with us for a few more years, if anything. Brett Randolph getting defensive tackle depth, Cohen receiver depth, Mason Hartman, hey, backup left tackle. And this was the worst pick. Cody Barnett, 58 overall tight end at West Virginia. Eddie Terrell. That might be a little bit of a steal, but I don't know. We only have 3 running backs. So Channing Cohen is the lowest. No, he actually is in the 2nd. Let me see if Channing Cohen is actually a real player. Channing Cohen. Oh, looks like he is a real player. Oh, no, he's not a real player. Okay. Number 25 just looks weird on a receiver, so I'm going to change his number to like something like the teens or the. Let's give him like 18. I think Eddie Terrell is a real player, though. No, he's not. Okay, I lied again. I'm not going to give him 0, though. Let me give him a different number. 14. Barnett, 81. He can stay, whatever number that is. Hardman is, it's worse than, Scully, we signed on a 1-year rental with him, but yeah, we didn't really draft any depth over there, so. Yeah, and Randolph is the lowest rated defensive tackle. Not surprised about that. I think none of these players are real. We actually didn't draft a middle linebacker, which we probably should have done. But there was really nobody decent we were picking. I think KJ Bolden is a real player, though. KJ Bolden. Yeah, he's a real player. He does play at Georgia. He wears number 4. He's going to be wearing number 4. Oh, and he's already a 78. Okay. Hooker only has what? Like 1 year left on his deal, I think I want to say. He's going to be the starter. But I wouldn't be surprised if Bolden's overall goes up. And if that happens, I'm going to give him the starting role and let Hooker go to the bench. But even for not having a first-round pick, at least it looks like that we hit on the second-round pick. We've got a future starter at free safety in KJ Bolden. Also in the same college as Zachariah Branch, so that's good. So yeah, I think we're in okay shape for next season, considering what we lost in the offseason with doing the Trevor Lawrence trade. I did not think that I was going to be making a trade for a quarterback like that, but I decided to go a little bit big. And look what it does to our offense. Our offense jumps up it didn't jump up a lot, but it jumped up a little bit. This team is respectable now. And we also did not have to give up a lot of depth and a lot of veteran players to go and get Trevor Lawrence. I mean, we ended up losing our second best corner in Jalen Watson. He had 2 years left on his contract. But we still have Tyson Campbell, and Denzel Ward is somebody we still have as well. The only thing I'm concerned about is that with Trevor Lawrence's contract, are we going to be able to keep guys like Denzel Ward who are going into the last year this year of their contract? That's what I worry about. But I'll worry about it in the next episode that I do. Thank y'all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.